Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This comes from Mr. Pink Don't Tip. Hey, guys. I'm up late.
Nice Reservoir Dogs reference.
Yeah. I'm up late, and I'm just through the first 2 episodes of Andor, and I'm floored. I never expected a Star Wars show to feel like this does. It's incredible, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I actually think it's better than Mandalorian. Now that all of you haven't had a chance to watch it, what do you guys think about it so far? Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Mr. Pink. And yeah, listen, I've been telling you guys for a bit now. I've been floored by this show. It is like the big thing. The first thing I tell people when they ask me how it is this: it's that it absolutely 100% feels more like a HBO Max show than it does a Disney Plus show. This, like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, they're very different quality-wise. You know, Mandalorian's been great. Book of Boba Fett, not so much. Obi-Wan, not so much. But they all have the same feel, right? They all have that Disney Plus Star Wars feel. Mandalorian does it great. The other two maybe didn't do it so well, but they all got that same feel. This show is a completely horse of a different color, for a Wizard of Oz reference there. It is a completely different creature. This does not feel like the world of the Book of Boba Fett at all. This show does not feel like the world of Obi-Wan at all. This is an HBO serious character-driven drama that if you liked, I put out on Twitter last night for a minute. I decided to take it down, but I said, if you're watching episodes 1 through 3 right now and you're loving it, hold on, because episodes 4 through 6 are even better. I mean, and this is a show that is building and keeps us focused on this. And I warned everybody, if you're going in looking for the pew pew Star Wars where lots of lasers and lots of action, then maybe this one won't be for you, because that's not what this is. This is an espionage, Game of Thrones kind of Star Wars show. It is, I am floored by it. And it has, I said, like any fandom is like a relationship. We have a relationship with the object of our fandom, and we can have good days and bad days. We watch Mandalorian season 2 and we're like, whoa, the relationship's hot. And then we see Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan and maybe we cool on the relationship a bit. This show to me is the path of red petals to the bedroom with a bucket of champagne waiting, heat up the relationship kind of show. This show to me is a different kind of Star Wars that I have ever seen before. I'm absolutely crazy about this show. I love seeing somebody saying, listen, Star Wars is supposed to be a vast, expansive, endless universe.
About the Skywalkers.
Yeah, only about the Skywalkers and those immediately connected to them. Yeah. And listen, I get it. This is a prequel to a prequel. The Rogue One was a prequel, and this is a prequel to that prequel. I get it, but to me, this is the type of show that I've been kind of dying for 20 years. This is a Star Wars story that truly does expand the universe with different kinds of stories and different types of storytelling. And this is truly an adult Star Wars show. And I don't mean that because there's, a couple people start banging. I mean that because this is mature themes. This is character development. This is espionage. This is like the drama of it all. And wait till you see what happens in episode 4 when they get to Coruscant. Oh my God. And then wait till you see what you get into in episode 5 once the action starts picking up. Point is, I am ludicrously excited about this show. I'm not super big fan of Disney right now, but I do absolutely love this show, and I cannot give them enough kudos for this, especially, guys, you've heard me say this before. I think momentum is real. I think momentum is a real thing, even in the entertainment industry. And the momentum of Star Wars, despite the great success of Mandalorian, we're all excited about Ahsoka. I think it's fair to say the momentum of Star Wars has been hurting a bit, especially coming off of Obi-Wan and the Book of Boba Fett. We needed this win. As Star Wars fans, I think we needed this win. And more importantly, I think this is the kind of Star Wars show that most Star Wars fans, which are a very divided group, that I think most Star Wars fans are going to be able to together say, we all love this. It's obvious, it's entertainment, so it's not going to be for everybody. It's certainly not going to be for everyone. There are going to be some people that watch it just like any entertainment. But That's how good I think this show is. That's how important I think this show is. And I can only hope that, episodes 7 through 12 continue that on. Hey guys, we want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding, there isn't one. Seriously, Mint Mobile just has premium wireless service from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. I used to dread opening my phone bill every month because every time I was opening it, it was like playing roulette. I never knew what the actual price was going to be, and it always seemed to get higher. But not with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you're worried about the complication of switching things over, don't. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, get premium wireless from just $15 a month and no unexpected plot twists at mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Seriously, you'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, Rob, you had a chance finally to watch the first 3 episodes of Andor. What did you think of it?
Well, I have to say that, for the first 6 years of its existence, Star Wars was incredibly important to me. And the tone of the original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back were rather serious. There was not a lot of the pulp. Like, people forget, there was no Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars. There was no Jawas hanging off Rontos in the original Star Wars. None of that was there. So the tone of Star Wars was there was a serious tone to it, both in Star Wars and Empire. And Jedi changed that tone. George Lucas changed the tone of Star Wars in Return of the Jedi. If you watch the first 10 minutes of Jedi, going into Jabba's palace is a very different feel from the way Star Wars and Empire felt. Then the special edition of Star Wars changed Star Wars even further, where the tone, I would say verisimilitude, was also changed quite a bit. This show makes me feel the way I felt when I first saw Star Wars and Empire, in the sense that when you're meeting people like Grand Moff Tarkin, there's not a lot of, he's a wacky, fun villain. He was a fascist murderer. And seeing these fascist functionaries, this company planet and everything, I'm like, this is watching the rise of fascism, watching the rise of the empire. You don't even see the empire in these 3 episodes. You see functionaries of the empire. We're just doing what the empire wants us to do. And you see a guy that wants to be a good little jackbooted fascist thug. I'm gonna do my duty to the best of my ability. You see a brown shirt at a beer hall push in 1933 Germany. You're watching this happen in front of you, and I'm like, man, this show is dope. And I'm looking at this going, this is clearly set in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah,
and from the very beginning, and they do use the volume, but they use it sparingly. And you look at there was a shot. It's so subtle and weird for me to say this, but there's a shot where you're watching Cassian Andor walking down the street. It's an exterior shot. Camera's behind you, and you're seeing all these people in front of Cassian. He's kind of there. You buy it, man. As the Viceroy of Verisimilitude, I'm like, we're here. We are there. We're not on some green screen stage. The stakes are real. The people are real. I feel like, my God, I'm watching a really serious science fiction show for once, because Star Wars has turned into this pulp sci-fi, family-friendly, let's get some bed sheets and play lightsabers before we go to bed.
There's nothing wrong with that when you do it well.
It's a fairy tale.
Nothing wrong.
That way, yeah.
But this is the flip side of that. We're getting the war in wars, which I think we've been lacking. And dude, I'm loving it.
One of the things we talked about the other day, and I'll just emphasize now that a lot of you have seen episode 3, and this won't give any spoilers away, but it's like, for all of Star Wars, even all the Star Wars that I have loved, what we've seen is the heroes talking about how the Empire needs to be stopped. We've never seen why they're fighting.
That's exactly
We just know that the rebels are fighting against the Empire because they're evil. We have never really seen why they fight. We got a little taste of it on Jedha in Rogue One, but in Andor, they show you a universe under oppression. and they're building a story. They are building a story about why these people eventually come up to fight. And that is something Star Wars has never shown us before.
It was more so in Rebels, but that's animation. That's not live action.
Yeah, but they give us a little glimpse of it. But I would say even here in Andor, it's even more so. But you're right. Rebels gave us a bit of that. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to see the first few episodes of
Yes.
Andor. What's your take on it so far?
Oh man, it's so fun. It's a sexy spy thriller. I love this. And you guys are right. It does feel like it is in the Star Wars universe. I feel like it's very, very lived in there. But it does have a lot of weight to it. There are real stakes here. And obviously, we know how things end for Cassian. So the fact that I'm so invested is really a testament to the writing on this show, too, and everyone's work on it. I mean, I'm so intrigued by all these characters. I want to know more about Bix. I love her, and I love that actress. Oh my gosh, Justice from Morbius. Get it, girl. I really, really want to know more about her and how this, what happens to her. And they're doing a good job of already setting up tertiary characters that I am going to be devastated over if I lose them. And I think that's really, really important when you're dealing with a prequel, to give characters who you can really, really connect to like that and be very, very concerned about what's going to happen, even if you know the ultimate effects of everyone's actions.
And you know what, John? You know what I really loved about this? When you see Cassian Andor's origin, you know, as a young kid.
Well, be careful how many details we give away here.
But there are things about it that are very subtle, like where are the adults? And there's the effect of their indigenous people. What does the effect of the Empire have on less sophisticated planets and things like that? And it ties back into our world in the sense that, you know, we had great powers fighting these great wars in our history, and indigenous peoples and native populations were just caught in the middle, and they didn't even have any understanding of what was going on or what these conflicts were, and yet they suffered because of things that they had no idea about. And they conveyed that in these episodes of Andor, and I thought that was pretty ballsy to go that way for a Star Wars show.
And I'll say this too. It is after you watch the first few episodes, and I gave you a hint about this earlier, it was a very, very good and necessary decision that they decided to air the first 3 episodes first. Because had they just aired episode 1,
Oh, dude.
and all you had was episode 1, and you had to sit with that for a week, I don't know that people have the same reaction to this show, right?
No.
By putting out the first 3 episodes, which I think more shows need to do, unless your first episode really does capture the essence of the show, by putting out the first 3 episodes so people can see that all in one sitting, you're like, okay, now I see what we're doing. I see what's going on here. Because if it had just ended, if all I had seen was episode 1, I'm not sure how excited I would have been about the show. But when you see it in context with the first 3 episodes, or 4 or 5 or 6, you start going, oh my God, this is so freaking good. And guys, wait till they get to Coruscant. I mean,
I mean, they do things like, you see people going to work,
Mm-hmm.
like mining
Yes.
or whatever the hell they're doing. I mean, you're looking at normal people that are eking out these lives of quiet desperation. You might as well be in a mining town in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
One of our opening scenes too, right? Of seeing how like some people have not chosen their jobs.
Right.
yep.
That's a whole other thing being dealt with in here.
So
Yes.
listen, guys, we are going to go much more into big, thick, spoilery detail and open, and we're going to hear from you. We want your input and everything too on our Andor after show that will be today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is 6 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys come back and join us for that. But for now, guys, question is for you. Have you had a chance to watch the first 3 episodes of Andor? If so, what did you think? Did you think it was as great as we think it is? Maybe you think it was okay. Maybe it just wasn't for you and it didn't work at all. That's all fair. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.